Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FimiNation edition of Xeno Nation tonight. We got a lot to talk about with the Fimi, with the recent letters people received about delays of the product, but we'll get into all that in a second here. I'm joined here by my regular co-host, Marcus Crawford, and we will be having a special guest coming on in a few minutes. You know, a guy you won't want to miss, and he's going to have a big report on the DJI Smart Controller. He's going to squash a few maybe false rumors out there, but I'm going to throw it to my partner, Marcus. We're going to check in to see what's going on with him today.
Yeah, so shoot, Ron, just kind of hanging loose. We had kind of an overcast day today. I had planned to go out and do some flying. I've talked to you about it, but I've got some freewell filters for the Mavic Mini that I want to try out and put together a little video on. But today wasn't the day to do it because it was overcast. So hopefully, if we get a little sun tomorrow, I'll get out and put together a video. Pardon me on that.
Good.
Beyond that, we've got some other things, just like you said, to talk about with the Fimi X8 SE. As well as I've got another RC surprise here, and yeah.
Oh, well, we'll get into the show, but I just want to, I can't help but mention Lloyd and Mel talked about it on the show right before us. I mean, it's been a tough week for all of us. There was an incident a week today in Minnesota, and I'm not trying to get political, but it's been a tough week. It's even been a tough day today. And all I want to say is my prayers go out for everybody to stay safe tonight, wherever they are. And that's the last I'm going to talk about, the last week's incidents tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Let's focus on the positive because we need some, and there is some positive things going on, Ron. For one thing, we have American astronauts on the International Space Station that were launched from American soil. And that's something we can all be proud of. And man, I have to tell you, Ron, I don't know how you felt, but when I watched that rocket launch and lift off, Sarah and I were both in here watching it on my computer, and we were both in tears to see that. It's almost a decade since the end of the shuttle program. So, man, it was just really, really cool to see that happen.
Right. And both of us kind of grew up in the 60s, which is kind of almost the heyday of the space program, and it's early days and very successful days. So yeah.
I see something in the chat here, Ron. Bill's got some news about the Fimi X8 SE. So that's kind of positive news.
Positive news. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll highlight it here. Okay.
I wonder if Bill would want to step in here for a second. What do you think?
I'll send him a link right now, and you kill time while I'm sending this link here.
You got it. Yeah. So the other thing is, I don't know if you guys watched the docking of the Crew Dragon to the International Space Station. That particular docking module is used on the U.S. side, and they hadn't used it since the last shuttle mission. So one of the things I was looking in one of the interviews they were talking about, they were literally using that module for storage. I guess one of the issues up there is they don't have a place to store everything. So they literally had to pull stuff out of that module so that they could dock the Crew Dragon and get those guys on board. And the other cool thing about it is they had an American flag up there that was left by the last shuttle mission, and they're going to take it home on this when Crew Dragon leaves. And it's also interesting to know, and I know this isn't exactly drones, Ron, but Crew Dragon, they have an indefinite mission up there. In other words, they don't know exactly when they're going to come back. It could be a week. It could be 2 months. So that's kind of fun to see. But they are going to bring that American flag with them when they come back down. And look who's here.
That's a very nice story, Marcus. And welcome, Bill. And Bill, I got to tell you, my Fimi's here already.
Ah, yes, it is. Okay. So did you get your refund back yet, Marcus, on yours?
For my Fimi X8?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the X8 SE.
Not the X8 SE 2020, but yeah. Okay. I have a very interesting story to tell everybody about this. Okay. The trials and tribulations of dealing with, as somebody call it, bang worst, okay, instead of bang good. All right. Now, I got the infamous email from them. It was showing up. Now, I looked at my status. It said back stock, out of order, expected shipment July 10th. I go, okay. All right. So I did a deep dive, and I did a real deep dive, and I got involved with their chat reps and everything. And their chat reps, I'm sorry, are like about as worthless as a $3 bill. All right. No value at all. So I did some looking on there. All right. I just did some looking on the website. And now my order for July 10th is showing up, and it says I can request a refund for it. That button is still up there. All right. Now, here's the thing. Everybody, and I've been paying attention to what's going on in my Fimi X8 SE 2020 group. And everybody who has ordered it from China has either got a shipping notice or has it coming imminently within the next week or so. And I'm talking worldwide. It doesn't matter, like from Europe and several guys in the States. So guess what I did? Okay. Now, and listen to this. There was another coupon and it worked. $420. So I went ahead, I bought another one, and I bought it on Saturday. No, I bought it on Friday night. Okay. And it said processing date May 29th. Get an email May 29th. Your Fimi X8 SE 2020 has shipped.
Wow, that's interesting.
So you need to order two then to get one on
yeah.
time.
Well, I'm waiting 100% now. I got a tracking number, but it's not active yet. And when that tracking number gets active, I'm refunding the other one. And basically, with that coupon, it knocked it down from like $475 to $420. So really, in essence, I was only paying $20 more for this. Now,
yeah, Bill. So let's make that clear to our audience. There are two different coupons available for the Fimi X8 SE. There's one for the Chinese warehouse, and there's another one for the U.S. warehouse. The U.S. warehouse one will get you down to like $379.79, something like that. And the Chinese one, like you said, Bill, gets it down to about $420.
It's about $420, yeah.
Yeah. So that is interesting news.
Yeah, I thought you guys would like that. So, and it said expected probably, I think June 11th, June 12th is when. Now I ordered express shipping, for lack of a better term, whatever that means. Who knows? It's whatever bang good speak that means. But it says by July 11th. Now here's the interesting thing. Okay, I went out there and I decided, you know what? I need to get another battery. All right. So I'm like, and I went out to Banggood, I went out to AliExpress, and I'm trying to look. I even went out to eBay, and and I'm trying to get the best deal. So I finally found the best deal. Again, it's coming from the Chinese warehouse, not from the U.S. warehouse. I ordered it, and yeah, I'll probably get it middle of July for one extra battery. Now, here's the other thing. All right, I went out. Now, really, in essence, if you buy more than one battery, you're stuck. You have to charge one battery at a time. Okay, quote unquote. All right, you're really kind of in limbo. I went out and I did some research, and they have a multi-charger that Banggood sells it, but I went ahead and I found it on Amazon, and I ordered it from Amazon. It's for $46. It will charge 4 batteries at once. It'll charge your controller, and it'll charge your tablet or smartphone at the same time. And it has a cooling fan built in. And it's had some good recommendations on Amazon. So I went ahead and ordered that. Now here's the real interesting thing. That it doesn't come with a gimbal guard. Okay, you got to buy that on your own, kind of a thing. I ordered my gimbal guard back on April 12th, the same day I originally. Yeah, I ordered Sunny Life? Yep, Sunny Life, okay? I ordered that bad boy on April the 12th, okay? It's still showing, like, in shipment. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's like we're in June here. we're not in April anymore. They're kind of like refusing to refund. It was like what, $6, $7, $8. So I ordered one on Amazon and got that coming. Now, I did go ahead and order extra props through the U.S. warehouse, and I'll be getting those next week. So, you know, it's kind of like pieces, parts in doing things, Ron. You know, it's like I'm getting the drone from the Chinese warehouse. I'm getting an extra battery from the Chinese warehouse. I'm getting an extra battery from the U.S. warehouse, and then I'm buying that charger and the gimbal guard.
So Fimi's really making you jump through hoops to get your complete Fimi X8 kit that you're going to need.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know, say what you will when you're dealing with DJI and either, you know, buying them on Best Buy, but when you buy that, you know, the Fly More kit, it's all there. Okay, you don't have to go messing around and doing stuff, and that's what's been the real pain in the butt. Now, the other interesting thing is this: is I've done a lot of looking as far as cases are concerned, and you know, there's really only 2 cases out there that will really work with this. Okay, there's one by Pit Stop, and it's about $40 or so. And it's kind of like it's in between a hard case and a soft case. Okay, it's waterproof, but it's water resistant, but not waterproof. Okay, and it will fit everything in there. You can fit 3 batteries in there, the charger, everything, and it's pretty decent. The other one, it's a hard case, and it looks like the GPC cases. Okay, and that's about $40 or $50. And I found our good friend Josh from Parks and Tech. He did a review on that. All right. Now, the thing with that second case is the one that Josh has, it doesn't have a lot of room in there. Okay. So you basically, it's only like 1 battery, you know, the charger, the controller, and that's about, and the drone, and that's about it. There's not a lot of room in that case. So, you know, really, in essence, the only option you have as far as a case is concerned is the one from Pit Stop, and it's about $45 or $50. Now, I did a review on a Pit Stop case for the original Mavic Pro. It's actually, they're decent cases, but don't expect to take that kind of a case. Like if you're going traveling and putting it in an overhead luggage compartment, okay, that's not going to work. Okay, that's, you know, that stuff, it won't fly. The case that Josh reviewed, that's really going to do a better job as far as protect if you're traveling. But if you do it for every day, like for me, thrown in the back of the truck going out, the one from Drone Pit Stop will absolutely work. So, but yeah. Oh, and the other thing, I looked at this too. And I know Marcus and I kind of chatted. I've been afraid to go out and look at my commission data from Fimi, from Banggood. Okay, I've been like, you know, it's kind of like I don't want to look at my 401k right now, kind of thing. You know, it's like, you know, don't want to do that. I actually went out there. You know what? I only lost 1 sale during all this, which I thought was pretty amazing. You know, I didn't expect. I expected like I was going to have lost like a boatload of sales. I only lost 1 sale. It's
well. After this information you gave out tonight, though, you may be losing more sales.
Yeah.
Just make sure you use your link again on the Chinese site.
Okay, where did you get that, Marcus?
So this is for the Fimi, and I haven't used it yet, and I got it off of Banggood, and believe it or not, it shipped immediately, and I had it probably from order date to in my hands probably 2.5 weeks, and it was like $22.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's still out there.
Okay, I'll take a look for it. I didn't see that one. I've looked. There's one that actually has the lettering for Fimi X8 on it. I've seen that one. There were some hard shell backpack ones that I didn't think were real. Again, the room thing, but that looks like a roomy case. I mean, that's the thing. I think, you know, when you're looking for a case, one thing, you want to take everything with you. You don't want to have take a separate bag to do all this stuff. So,
well, like you said, listen, we probably don't need a hard case because we're just throwing it in the back of our car, taking it out someplace. So something like that keeps you organized, looks decent. You know, the problem I have with the Mavic Air 2 bag is I don't like digging into that bag looking for stuff. And that's kind of the problem with some of my other solutions behind me. You can see those camera bags that I've been using.
Yeah.
You're always digging around in there looking for something. And I've, because of some of the other cases, I've found how much nicer it is. And Ron, just like the Parrot and Offie case, guy, you just open it up and everything's right there, and you know you can.
Yeah. You just don't know which side to open, but
yeah.
Hey, I got a great idea from what Bill was talking before. We start our own store here, you know, and Bill already has it. We're going to piece all these pieces together. Bill had to go all around the internet and search, and we're going to put it in one package for you all. So you just come to our store and you order the deluxe kit, and you get all the items Bill just mentioned, and you don't have to go search around all the internet for you. And the links will be down below to purchase.
One-stop shopping. You won't have to go all over the place. Okay.
We fill all your drone needs. You don't need to go out and buy the accessories. We will deliver everything you need for a full day of flying.
See, guys, Ron needs to pay for his Coke from Mexico, so that's why we're doing this. Okay, because that Coke to Mexico, you know, it's I'm buying it by the case at Sam's right now, and it's not cheap. But I'll tell you what, it's the way to go because it has real cane sugar. It doesn't have that
they probably hit the tariffs hard.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have that high fructose corn syrup in it.
That's poison.
But yeah, well, getting back to the Fimi X8 SE 2020 for a second, okay?
You didn't mention ND filters in that conversation, did you, Bill?
No, I did not. Okay. That's going to be my next hunt is that. But the one thing that I have to say, and I've heard from several people about this, and they said what to do, leave your other order go for a while, okay? Because they're imagining, and from what I'm hearing, is that they're going to restock the U.S. warehouse. Like it's going to be a lot faster than July 10th. So for those of you, don't cancel your, don't pull. For me, I'm anxious. I want to get the drone. Okay, I'm excited about it. But for you guys that can wait, if you can wait it out because it's going to come. I can tell you this. I'm about 99.9% certain it's going to come sooner than that July 10th date. And I would just don't trust email from Banggood. Go out to that site every day and look because a lot of times Banggood is notoriously poor at getting email communications out about your order status. So go out and check it. Go out there every day, check that order status because you may see it flip overnight and not get an email because that's been known to happen a time or two from Banggood. So definitely go out there. So for those of you that have like it showing, processing July 10th, it's going to process a lot sooner than that. I can tell you that right now. So, don't go canceling your order because it's going to come. I know a lot of people have, and that's their prerogative. But I'll tell you what, to get all the features that I'm seeing on this drone right now for a little over 400 or a little tad under 400, it's incredible. I mean, I came across a guy over in England. I just posted the video to my Fimi X8 SE group. He did a fantastic job explaining what he did to take care of the Horizon. He also did a great job. He also bought, and I didn't know this. Now, I knew you had prop balancers for like model aircraft, but you can use the same thing on drones. I didn't know that. And he talked about that, and I did some investigating on it, and it's simple. It's really simple on how to do it. And all you really do is you kind of like, you maybe get a razor blade or something and shave off little parts, to try to get that prop and balance. He said he did that. I think he may have put some counterweights on it or something. I don't know. But he said it made all the difference in the world for him. So
at one point, I used to even put like tape on them as my counterweight. If you want to search way back on my channel, you can find a video I made of balance and props for like a Bang Toys X16, which is kind of like a Phantom 3 clone drone or whatever, like a toy grade or whatever. But yeah, it's not hard. But I can't believe in this day and age that Fimi has such a setup that they require you to balance props to get it to, usually it was to get the camera not to shake it in the old days. I mean, that's not a good sign what you're saying there, Bill.
Well,
I agree.
Here's what I think, and this is just me. Now, I watched his video and I posted it out there, but I think, a lot of times you have to be real careful with the props that are available for sale. Now, the ones I got are not aftermarket. They're genuine Fimi props, okay? A lot of times you can go out there and get them cheap. Those cheaper ones, 99% of the time, they're not going to be Fimi OEM. And I'll tell you what, you want to get OEM because they're going to have the exact weight that they need to be. I mean, that just makes a whole lot of sense. And that's what I thought about those props being out of balance, because if that's the case, then he was probably using aftermarket props. That's what I'm thinking.
So do they make a balancer that balances folding props? I mean, I understand the ones that are a fixed prop, how that can be done. Yeah. How do they do it with folding props?
Yeah, it's a good question. In my toy drone days, we didn't have folding props yet. They were all straight props, so I couldn't tell you how you're balancing the folding props.
Well, I saw a video on it, and there's a company, and I have the link, and I'll email this link to both you guys later. There's one company out there that makes these prop balancers, and they're not expensive. They're like about $45-50. And basically, if it's a folding prop, you just extend the prop to its full length and then put it on the shaft. It is really all you do in terms of that. Now, it demonstrated like these big props for these model planes. Like there's a way to be able to balance those, because obviously it's bigger than you can adjust to go up and down to make sure there's enough clearance for the prop when it does that. And it's real simple. It's real easy. I watched the video on how to do that. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. But
I want to tell you guys one thing for certain. When you get your Fimi X8 SE, very carefully inspect those props and make sure that those studs or screws are locked in on both sides of the props. I remember because your very first flight, you had that catastrophe happen. So yeah, that's going to be one of the very first things I do when I open that box up. But I think for me, one of the things that kind of just I still like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me with Fimi, is you don't have a gimbal cover on there. I'm like, why? I mean, you build, and in my opinion, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this here on Xeno Nation, okay, I think it's a better product than the Hubsan Xeno, my personal opinion. I haven't even flown it, but I think it's a better product than them. But yet they don't have a gimbal cover. And it kind of floors me that some of these, manufacturers do these things. Of course, both the Xeno 1 and Xeno 2 had the gimbal cover with it. And what we all know the travails of the infamous Hubsan Xeno. But here we are, the Fimi X8 SE 2020 in the regular in 2018 version, and they don't have gimbal covers. I mean, it's a $5 item,
Yeah. Hey, to wrap this segment up here, to move on to our next topic, I just want to finalize Bill's advice here now. What are you advising our watchers to do now? If you've ordered from the U.S. warehouse, you should cancel that order and order from the Chinese warehouses. Is that what your advice is?
If you want it sooner, yes.
And you want it sooner and pay more money.
You're going to pay more money. You're going to pay. Okay. It ends up. You're roughly going to pay about $50 more. Okay. Now, if you can wait it out, okay.
And waiting out means July, right?
You're looking at a July time frame anyway, because even if it's all the way into July to this July 10th date, which I can tell you it's not going to be, okay, because everything I'm hearing from all the comments that are out on the group, it's going to be before that July 10th date. So if you can hang and wait, do it. But if you don't, expect you're going to pay, even with that coupon, you're still going to pay $50 more than with your order out there. And my advice, guys, hey, I'm an impatient 62-year-old big baby. Okay, I'll just call myself.
This isn't the first drone you cancel, right, Bill?
This isn't the first, and it probably won't be the last. Okay, but with this time around, though, I got it. I'm going to get it a whole lot sooner than I would have gotten before. So I think I did a good thing. And this is just for me, okay? Because I'm really anxious to get this, because I think this drone is going to be fantastic.
Bill, Marcus has your gimbal guard for you.
There you go.
Cardboard. Yeah, I just want to show that to people so they know what we're talking about. And honestly, truthfully, I'm okay with it. It seems to have held pretty good, but I did buy one of those aftermarket ones, and they're cheap, and I'm definitely going to put that on the 2020 version when it comes in. The biggest gripe. So I want to make clear the reason that the Fimi is probably going to be better than the Xeno 2 is that they've had a lot of time to sort this guy out. And it really is just an incremental improvement over this drone. So a lot of the things they've already learned. And this guy started out pretty rough too. But the point, to Bill's point, is I think they've probably gone through most of the really tough stuff. And as long as this guy has a nice even horizon, I'll be happy. Although I will mention that I've seen people reporting on the 2020 that they really didn't change anything with those back legs that are prone to cracking. So you need to stay on top of those.
Good information, Marcus. Now, while Marcus gets the next prop out for the next segment of the show here, I'm going to make a shameless plug here and say if you want to learn more about the trials and tribulations of the Xeno 2, watch a pre-recorded Xeno Nation that Marcus and I did last week, and we kind of dig a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Xeno 2. But now this is Marcus's time to shine here. He's going to give you the first peek preview ever of a hot new product coming up on the Idaho quadcopter network of channels here. Ta-da!
Look at the size of that thing.
The world's biggest RC car right here on Xeno Nation. That thing's almost as big as Marcus's Corvette.
Yeah, so
a little faster than his Corvette.
It's probably damn near as fast.
Now, what's the name of that vehicle, Marcus?
So this is as bad as the Fimi X8 SE, probably worse. So it is produced by JLB Racing RC. The model is the JLB 21101 Cheetah.
Again, who comes up with these names?
Banggood. So
the rule maker is JBL or
it's JLB.
JLB
Racing RC is the company, and it's the JLB 21101. Sam Burns, you see that compensating for something? Could be, Sam. Although
is that the Lyndon Baines Johnson edition or something? What LBJ or something?
Yeah. But this thing is brushless motors. Brushless motor. Drones, you can tell I'm a drone guy because I talk about motors. It's a brushless motor, and my friend Ryan from RD's Drone Reviews is in the chat right now.
Who's an RC truck expert?
He is my go-to guy for trying to figure that thing out. And you see what Brian wrote, TDR drones. I don't know if you want to put that one up there.
I'm not even keeping up. Hold on, I'll catch up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Brian, I can't talk now. You're making me laugh.
Stop it, Brian. You're being too funny.
Ryan tells me that if you put a 4S battery in it, and it can take a 4S battery, it came with a 3S, but you can put a 4S in there. He says it'll do 60 miles an hour. So it's going to be a hot rod.
It's faster than your Mavic Air too.
It absolutely would be, but I don't know that
will you race them?
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
If anybody has a problem with their order, just get a hold of Brian's contact in China. Mi Hung Lo, that's his Chinese contact.
His contact
all new products. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. This is like a weatherproof truck.
It is supposed to be. It says moisture proof, so whatever that means. So in other words,
you can go through puddles.
Pardon me?
You could probably go through puddles.
Through puddles, right. It's what my intention is to do some videos tracking it with, of course, the Skydio 2.
Oh.
And Ron, you'll find this interesting. I'm sure the thing you would think of doing is probably mounting the beacon on there, right?
Oh.
but I think I'm going to try just optically tracking it with just my phone first, because it should recognize it as a car. So we'll see.
With that little dot up there with your little icon of the car, that will be interesting.
Yeah, and but if that doesn't work, I'll put the beacon on it and we'll mess around with it, and it should be a lot of fun.
That should be a hoot.
Hey, so evidently DeMarco, he must have one. So because look at, he's speaking with knowledge here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but in any case,
Marcus, don't forget to feather your throttle.
Got to feather the throttle.
Can we say that on a family show, Bill?
Yeah. See, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know about Brian's comment either. We need to change the rating for this show with Brian's comment out there.
Yeah.
Well, when do you think you'll get your first video up on it?
Well, I'm hoping in the next week or so to get that bad boy out and mess around with it. So
okay.
Yeah. So I guess that's the big news on the RC car front, which is
thank you for showing us that. Links will be down below where you can purchase it. 99% of the profits of that sale go to the Idaho Quadcopter GoFundMe account.
Yeah, it'll find. Yeah, and you know what Marcus uses his GoFundMe account for?
Well,
Jimmy John's.
Hey, while we have a casual conversation here, we have our guest, our special secret surprise guest, waiting in the back room. So I want our secret surprise guest to check his email and get the link to the show and come on in now while we kill a little time waiting for what we're going to talk about. Is something that's near and dear to Bill the Drone Reviewer's heart. This special guest received the DJI Smart Controller last week for review, and he went out to prove a fallacy wrong that it doesn't have as much range as the regular controller. He put it to the test, and you will be surprised with the results. Marcus had something.
Well, I just wanted to make a correction. So DeMarco has straightened me out here in the chat. So I was calling this an RC car. It is not an RC car. It is in fact an RC truggy, and I can affirm that because that's what it says on the box too. So I apologize to everybody for that misinformation. Thank you, DeMarco.
Brian, you're cracking me up, man. Oh my!
The buggy will win that one.
DeMarco never pulled the trigger on that truggy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So what is this truggy an RC car? Kind of like when we say quadcopter, some people say drones. But hey, guess what? There is somebody in the waiting room ready to come on the show right now. So with no further ado, let's introduce tonight's super secret special guest of the week. Straight from downtown Philadelphia. Welcome to the show.
Whoa. Wow, there's shit in the shilling. Hold on, there it is. It's gone. I fixed it. Shit in the shilling. Are we live?
We are live. You're looking great. Your face is well lit, and now first of all, let's check in with you. Are you safe there? We know there's a little bit of trouble in Philadelphia. I've seen it on the news because I live local enough to get the Philadelphia news, and I know there's been some trouble down there. And I don't want to get political in the show. I just want to make sure you and your family are safe and sound.
Yeah, we're safe. But let me tell you something. It's been really hard to keep my funny attitude lately. It's been a struggle, guys. But it's it is what it is. Hopefully it ends soon. I don't want to get into it either, but it's right. really sad. But anyway, let's get freaking moving, guys. I got great news. Are you ready?
We're sitting down.
The merch store. Philly opens the merch store this week. Is that what you just wanted, right? Is that the news?
Oh, the hats and t-shirts are ready?
I got hats, t-shirts, toilet paper racks. I got toilet seat covers. I got everything, the dish towels, the forks and spoons, anything you might need.
You got the bathroom and the kitchen covered. Probably the two most important areas in the house.
The kitchen and the bathroom are covered. Yes. All right, guys. Enough joking around. This is your show.
Well, I'm gonna set this up, Mike.
Yes.
I watched just. I always forget. I never catch his live shows live because I don't know. I've never seen live, but I watched his video. I think it was this morning. He took the. Let me get this right. The Mavic zoom out with the DJI Smart Control that he was just sent last week for review, and he took it out all the same run with the standard Mavic 2 control that comes in box, and he was trying to test out the fact that some people told us on the show last week, and the show I'm referring to is the Philly Mike and Ron show every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. Don't miss it, or you're going to be late for the game.
Good information, and
right.
But just give it back at the end of the show.
Right, but anyways, so he took it out to test because a lot of people told him that no, you're never going to get as far with smart controls you do the regular. It just doesn't have the range. So Mike went out and I'm going to let you continue the rest of the story here because it's your video, it's your story, it's your test.
So there it is, guys. I've been hearing it too. I was given a wonderful gift of a smart controller, and all I got since I got the gift was all downsides. Oh, it's great, but you're not going to get the distance. Just be careful. It's the distance. So I started thinking, oh my God, I'm in a city, and in the city, I already get poor distance. I'm really concerned. And, it was a gift, so I'm grateful, but I'll give it away. If it sucks, I don't want it. I'll give it to somebody else that can use it. So I was really, really just not excited, waiting for the worst. So I decided, let's do a test. So I set up everything equal, guys. I took out the Mavic 2 Pro. That was the drone I used, not the Zoom.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said
no big difference. Same drone, same OcuSync. And I went one direction, exactly in the same, on the map, exactly the same direction, straight
on a perfectly sunny day. No bad weather, no nothing, right?
Perfect day, same time of day, same distance, same height. Everything was as equal as I can get it. My first run was with the smart controller, and I sent it out, and right off the bat, I was surprised because now the smart controller does, from what I hear, the module inside it is supposed to be a little less, not as strong as the regular. From what I hear, it's a hardware thing, whatever. Anyway, right from Jump Street, I got perfect signal all the way out to about 11,150 feet, something like that. Now, just to give you a side note, that's almost the furthest I've ever went with any of my drones in this particular direction. But I went, okay, maybe we're having a great satellite day. I'm going to just blow this away when I put the regular controller up. So I come back and note, when it returned to home, it came back and the picture was perfect. I had perfect signal all the way up. It turned around, my signal was still perfect, and I had full HD for the whole flight home in return home.
You never saw the robot.
I never did. Well, a little robot when I was losing it, but when it turned around full, I was able to see the drone come home at 390 feet. I then say, okay, run in the house. I switch up my setting. I put the whole monstrosity around my neck with the freaking the shade. And so at first,
iPad Mini 5, right?
Yeah, the iPad Mini 5 with the regular controller with the sunshade around the neck. So right from Jump Street.
Let me tell you just for a second. I know you're real street there, but how do you like the screen on the smart controller on the first flight? Were you able to?
That's what I'm going to say.
Were you able to see it well in the bright sunlight?
Right from Jump Street. This is what I'm saying. I noticed, oh my God, I got to carry this big thing in my around. Now I'm used to doing it, guys. So you got to understand when I did the smart controller, the whole time I could not believe that I could see what I'm doing. I could actually see my flight. I couldn't believe it. Now, was it as bright as, no, I was in 12 o'clock noon. It was as bright as you can get brightness, full sun. And I still saw the screen. I still saw it. So I go in the house, I make the change, and now I'm squinting and I'm like trying to look on the iPad. Now I was able to see the iPad as well, but I literally it took me 10 minutes fitting the thing on. So that I didn't like right from but that's okay. It's okay. Some people don't mind. I send the drone out. About 9,000 feet, guys, the signal starts cutting off. Does the robot. I could not believe it. At not even maybe 10,000 feet, she had to come home. She totally lost connection. It stiffened up. Now, this is the regular controller. The
one that had the great range, supposedly.
Great range. When it turned around, this is what bothered me too. And this is where I noticed that something in that controller, the DJI Smart Controller, something in that controller is maximized. Just the way when they sell it on the DJI website, they talk about how the Go4 app is maximized for the great efficiency. They run the app beautiful, and it does, guys. It really does, because the regular controller, when it returned home, it lost connection. It did the robot. It didn't come back into good signal until I was about 6,000 feet.
And what's the everybody that doesn't watch your channel regularly? You flew in a heavily Wi-Fi congested area. Is that correct?
That's the big test, guys. I'm in a city of Philadelphia, which is probably the worst Wi-Fi area imaginable to man. I live in a row home in inner South Philly. There's nothing but houses everywhere, cell towers, buildings, houses, everything. It's congested.
And why I want to set that up is because people are sitting here saying, "Oh, well, Dustin Dunnell got his out, 5 miles," but they just have to know that he flies in a much more favorable reception area than you do. And I mean, and by a long shot, right?
Absolutely.
You find out probably the worst area as far as keeping signal.
And that's what it is. And I had to make, and some people just don't get that you don't understand, guys. In Philadelphia, to get a mile, 5,280 feet is phenomenal. That's not bad. I mean, I would pay $2,000 for a drone that can give me 1 mile clean. And so to get 2.5 miles, 2 miles plus, and have perfect visuals and be able to see it in broad daylight, be able to have a small setup, to be just looking at this thing is amazing. Now, with that being said, guys, there are some things I don't like about it. So I again, that's coming, but not a lot. I gotta say, overall, it's a fabulous device.
And you can save some stuff for tomorrow night.
Yes,
you don't have to play it all tonight.
Yes, we will.
Can I interject for a second?
Yes, and just to let you know, Bill's a big fan of this smart controller. We call him Mr. Smart Controller.
Well,
Okay.
that's why, Billy, that's why I wanted it. You said to me, you'll have to take this out of my dead hands.
That's
Pry this
right.
out of my dead hands. And
I'm dead serious. And I have an answer as to why you experienced what you experienced. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, realize when you're using the regular controller, okay, there's a variable in this, and the variable is the device that you're using. Okay, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet, and there's a variable of the chipset that's in that smartphone or that tablet. Okay,
Correct.
and you hit the nail on the head. Okay, the processor inside the smart controller is better than what's in a lot of the smartphones today. Okay, and realize it's a dedicated processor. Okay, it's totally crunching those numbers for the Go4 app. It's not doing anything else. Okay, because with your smartphone or your tablet, even though you may shut down other apps and stuff, it's still running other stuff. Okay, this is totally dedicated. Okay,
I think that's the key, Bill.
that's why. That is exactly why you got the results that you did, Mikey. It's because it's totally dedicated to that. And then the other thing that you already touched on, okay, down here in Florida, the sun is at a lot because of the, where we're positioned at, it's a lot brighter down here. Okay. So it's like sunscreen is a must, but I can tell you at 2:00 on a Saturday afternoon with the sun blazing outside, I can hold that smart controller up and I can see everything crystal clear. There's no question about it. No question about it.
You know, and that's what I'm most impressed with. Now, again, I do have some complaints. I'll save them for tomorrow because I wouldn't be a good reviewer if I just said everything was wonderful.
How about just one complaint tonight? Just one complaint tonight.
One complaint, and this use a laugh at this. Don't touch that freaking screen after you're out with it for a little bit. You'll burn your fingers. I swear to God, you'll get 3rd-degree burns.
Wow.
God,
Hey, Mikey,
on it. Look at Phil's laughing. You touched it, didn't you, Phil? You touched it. Guys, this is so bright. Hey, no, it's on smokes. It's almost on fire. That's it. It's almost on fire. When you touch it, I had to put my finger in ice. For the rest of the night, it was in ice. And the thing is, you got to touch it. It's a touch screen. So I'm like, and you know, so, but anyway, it's not that hot. But I'll tell you when I noticed it, walking in the house, I shut the controller off. Now I'm carrying everything. I put the controller up against my chest and I'm holding the drone. And man, oh man, did I get a surprise. So number one, now that's not that bad of a thing, but it gets hot. Be careful of it. Now, DJI knows that. There's a fan in here. It kicks on. It ain't going to explode. It's meant to do that. But one downside, there's some other ones too, but one downside, gets really hot.
No, but seriously, Mike. Mike, what was your first expression?
Oh, my first expression when I flew was out. Oh my God, this is wonderful. Look at it. Jesus God. It's the first expression. I didn't know whether to go forward or back, Marcus. It was just crazy. First expression.
I said that just so I could see you do that.
You know, when Mikey does that, he looks like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. This seriously, dude, you are a spitting image of that.
And you notice how I use the word expression. I know the right word. Just to let you know, guys, I do know the right word. But you got to play.
Let's ask the key question. Next time you want to fly your Mavic 2 Pro, your Mavic Zoom, what controller will you be taking out with you?
Matt, what drone? What's it?
Any of the Mavic 2 series drones.
Well, there's problem number 2. See, now I got to mention another problem. Where's Lauren? Is Lauren in here? I got a bone.
Is your problem the same problem as Sam Burns' question here?
Where's Sam Burns? Sam Burns, get it. Get your
look at the screen.
Listen, here. Maybe.
Well, you see it, don't you? So that makes a question for you, Bill, too.
No, my problem is this. Come on, DJI. You don't put shit in the app and then don't make it work. I want to go live. I want to go live.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube and go live. Come on, guys.
Mikey, there's a good video that Mel did. 400.
I don't know. That doesn't work, Bill.
It doesn't work anymore. See, it used to work.
Dude, you got to go on your computer. You got to go outside, bring a laptop, go to the laptop, type in this, Here's a freaking button right on there. You should just hit it just like Facebook. Why?
Oh, I know. Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason, and I'll explain why that doesn't work, all right?
Google.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, the browser that DJI put in there, their whatever they call that, it sucks, okay? Yes. It's horrible, all right? We're just going to call it like it is, all right?
There you go, Bill.
So what you have to do, and this did work for a while, it doesn't work anymore. I downloaded Opera is another browser. A lot of people don't use it, but the Opera Mini seemed to work really well, and it worked for some time, okay? Now, the thing is, okay, the messages that came up when you were trying to log in to your YouTube account, it was so backwards it wasn't funny. Please hit the button, and you've already hit the button, okay? It's just, okay, well, it would work for a while, but now it's to the point, I tried it, and it doesn't work anymore. I mean, that's
a bummer, Bill, because what it causes me to do is not use my smart controller. My niche, now I use it to go, and when it becomes compatible with the Mavic Air, of course I'm going to use it. But my niche is to go live. I want to share DJI's product.
No, you do that all the time. See, that's a real pain point for you, because that's, you do what you do I'm going to say 3/4 of your videos are live videos. Okay.
No, 98%. That's
even more. And you need that. You don't have that. And that's something. And see, I'll tell you what, I don't know how many people have pinged DJI on that. And I've pinged DJI ad nauseum on that. And they're still stuck in a rut. I know.
Bill,
Mel was real upset with them about that.
I know you got some pull there. If there's anything, I would bow to you for the rest of my life if you can get them to
well,
fix
if you could get my wife to bow to me,
I can get your wife.
Hey, let's ask Bill the key question.
Yes.
Are they holding back the live streaming feature from the Fly app to force people to get a drone that'll use the Go4 app that has it in, or is it just a programming issue?
I think it's a programming issue, Ron.
Okay.
Pure and simple. It's. I think if DJI put a team on it, they could probably have a fix in a week, and they'd probably have a beta up in a couple of weeks and running. I mean, it's a real simple fix.
Because guys, listen.
Sam Burns has a question chatted for a long time now, and Bill may be the person to address this. Sam says, why are we having to wait for the smart controller to work with the Mavic Air 2?
That's a $10,000 question, Sam. I mean, it should have, and I think that's probably a great Lauren question because, Lauren had said, it wasn't, a couple of weeks. Well, it's been out more than a couple of weeks already, and people have have seen a lot of things with the Mavic Air 2 already. And that's one thing we haven't seen. Okay. It's like, we've tried the hyperlapse. We've tried all the drone shots. We've tried the tracking on it. We've done a lot of that, but we haven't had the smart controller yet. And it's just
and not only that, Bill, but they totally killed the drone. No live streaming at all on it.
Yeah, there's no. It's the same way with the Mini, and the only way you can do that on the Mini is with that Prism Live app that I did. Okay. But that's a real pain in the butt, okay?
And not only that, you're coming close to really taking some risk about losing your drone. I was using DU Recorder, and let me tell you something, guys. If you want to lose your drone, do it. And because my niche is going live, and I'm choosing not to do it, just to give you an idea how dangerous that is. Because what I'm finding is it's fighting for seniority. The DU Recorder is fighting to be number one. The Fly app is fighting to be number one. And while they're fighting to be overlapping each other, the drone is just flying away. Bye-bye. It just gets lost. The code gets lost. It starts landing now, setting the home points. Its screen freezes up. No way. You couldn't pay me to use it anymore.
Lauren just replied bug squash before app updates. So
very true.
Apparently they want to take care of bugs. And they're probably right. They probably it's like why introduce something else and you've got XYZ bugs with it already. Okay. And you know what? And while I'm just gonna digress for just a second here on the Mavic Air 2. Okay. I got to say this. All right. I have been so pleased with my runtime on the Mavic Air 2. All right. The battery life, that's probably, I would say right now, that's my number one favorite feature about the Mavic Air 2 is that battery life. It is insane because I've been doing a lot of hyperlapses and I'm telling you, I burned through battery like nobody's business. And I still had, I was telling Sally when I had her on my show tonight, I was doing a hyperlapse. I went to the other end of the lake, came back. I still had like 35% left. I mean, it was crazy. But
let me tell you, go ahead.
Here's my number one pet peeve with the Mavic Air 2. And we all knew this coming in. And Ron knows this too. Okay. And I talked about this with Sally tonight it's low light performance. Okay. It's not there. It's just, when I've been filming those sunsets and when I did that 8K hyperlapse of the sunset, I rarely do stuff and have to take it into post. I had to take it into post to brighten it up and lighten it up because otherwise it's just everything else was too dark. The sun was okay, but everything else was too dark. And Ron, this is something we talked about. We knew this because we knew the Mavic 2 Pro with that sensor on it, it's a killer. I mean, it gets those sunsets like nobody's business. But with the Mavic Air 2, you're not going to get them because it doesn't have that sensor. I mean, that's just something that we kind of knew.
But let me tell you something else about the low light day. See, now I disagree, but on a very good reason, Bill, and I'll tell you why. because I don't fly the drone for the same reason you're flying it. Now, what I mean by that is I'm not looking for the perfect picture or the video. What I need to do is see. So that's all I care about, because I'm putting on a show. I want to be able to see where I'm flying. And for that reason, it's fabulous. I could throw the 64, or throw the ISO all the way up to 6400, drop the shutter all the way down, and I can turn daylight into or nightlight into daylight. Now, if I took a picture, it would be noisy and crappy and all that. I get it. But what I'm looking for is to be able to see where I'm flying. And I know most guys, it's a camera drone. They want to take, I get it. And so I would have to agree with you as far as it's not great, but I wouldn't put it, Bill, we have to remember $7.99.
Right. And one of the things I talked about with Sally tonight too, and she brought up this point, it's that drone, if you're a professional photographer, you're not considering this drone. You're looking at a Mavic 2 Pro. I'm just,
right, or you're not considering it for night shots. You would have a Mavic 2 Pro for night shots.
Exactly. Okay. This kind of a drone, you're a hobbyist who's leaning to be a photographer, somewhere in that kind of.
I would agree.
Realm. Okay. And it's definitely a step up from the Mini, but it's not the big Mavic 2 Pro.
I'm going to agree with Bill. I shot a little bit at extreme sunset one night, and I saw digital noise in the video that you wouldn't see in the Mavic 2 Pro. And of course, again, we all know this 1-inch sensor is $700 more or whatever.
Yeah.
If you do most of your flying in low light, buy the Mavic Air 2. But if you're mostly a daytime, middle of the day flyer, the Mavic Air 2 is fine for you.
Guys, I gotta tell you, in daylight, even and in morning when the sun's coming up, right after the sun comes up, right at that golden hour, I'm loving it. I'm loving the pictures. Loving it. I think it's dynamic. It's more than what I paid for. So I couldn't be happier. And when you couple that with a signal that is so powerful, so strong, my God, dude, in the environment that I'm in, I can't stop flying this drone, guys. I can't stop flying it. And that's what gets me so upset, because I can't share it with anyone.
Yeah, right. Your favorite drone, you can't go live and share with it. It must be killing you. I'm gonna ask all you guys a question about the Mavic Air 2, but I want to jump to Lauren's comment for a second. This is a reference to something he said about 5 minutes ago. He said there should be another firmware upgrade in about 2 weeks for the Mavic Air 2, and it should include the SC update, Smart Controller update. So we don't know about live, but Lauren, thinks we make a Smart Controller update soon.
Don't forget, the camera issues that people are having, the digital noise and stuff. That could be, that's software. Right? They can work that. So that's stuff that they could make a little bit better. So, I mean, we all know what DJI does, right? We test them, we tell them the problem, and then they keep improving the drone. I don't mind that. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't mind it, simply because the freaking things are so much fun to fly. I have a ball with them.
I think it's a good point. Like, even if the actual camera gets the digital noise in, especially in their HDR format, they could find a way to digitally, remove some of the digital noise out of it. But here's my question for the whole panel here. We talked about how good we think the Mavic Air 2 cameras, and I agree. It's one of my favorites. Outside of the Mavic 2 Pro, what's your next favorite camera drone?
Marcus, you go next.
Yeah. Well, so first, I want to just speak to what we were talking about earlier.
Thank
you.
And I noticed that.
Yeah.
I want to hear Marcus. Ron, shut up. I'm going to jump to that. Come on, Ron. I want to hear my buddy Marcus. I love him. Come on, Marcus.
I forgot what I was going to say now. So,
go on.
You were rewinding something you said a few minutes ago.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, listen, look at the audience for that Mavic Air 2. It's a guy like me, Ron, you are at a level of photography that I will never be at and don't even desire to be at. I just like to fly a drone and have it be reliable, have some range. and get some shots that just blow me away. And let me tell you, I could buy a Mavic 2 Pro and it would be just a waste of time on somebody like me, because I would never know how to use it to its full extent. And that's where the Mavic Air 2 really shines. It's perfect for that middle consumer drone flyer, somebody like me that just wants to get some nice footage, but doesn't really know a lot about photography and isn't, really going to spend a lot of time in Lightroom or editing colors or that.
Great point. And with that camera setting, it does everything for you. You gotta love it, dude. It sets everything up. And let me just, are you done, Marcus? Because I'm excited.
Well, I wanted to answer Ron's question, but go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to tell you, one of my biggest things with the Mavic Air was the controller. I loved it when it came out because it was the size. I loved it. But then I don't know if it was my hands, my meat hooks. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get comfortable with it. And it needed a couple things. And I opened my mouth, and I'd like to say thank you to Lloyd Knows Tech from Ecstasy or Ecstasy or Ecstasy. I think it's a sex shop, but it doesn't matter. He does 3D sex toys or anything. Anyway, Ecstasy, thank you from Lloyd. But guys, look at what he made me. Are you ready for this? He made me a tablet holder. Now, I know I did the tablet holder thing, but look, it is even, he made me this stand.
Wow.
Look at it.
Wow.
And look how perfect it is. It's literally.
You've seen it here for the first time, folks.
Yeah, first time. I'm selling them. They're $49.99, guys. $49.99. Send your money over to Philly Drone Life and I'll send you a piece of this one or maybe a picture, and then you make, but the plans are $50.
Links down below.
But check this out. Now, I was showing you the thing that I had for $4. Well, this was free and it's better. But look, guys, you gotta look. I'm so excited to check this out. Look, it's a 2-piece thing. Yeah, here it is. This is part number 1. Can you see it? Part number 1. This big wide piece fits perfectly. It hooks onto the back, hooks right, and it literally. When the tablet's in there, it doesn't fall like that, but when the tablet's in there, it locks in perfectly. Now, this piece, check this out, guys. You're not going to believe it. This piece is 3D, but on the backside, he must have put clay and filled the hole up and got every freaking indentation and then scanned the clay and then made a 3D part. And when this goes in here, it doesn't even move. Let me just show you. It's literally perfect. Look at that. It's perfectly flush. Let me show you. So it's perfectly flush inside, and the thing comes up against it. And what it does is it balances the controller perfectly on you. So now us pinchers, because we like the nipples, we like the squeeze with the hand. You got this perfect feeling of it here. I'm not a thumber, so I had to be a thumber with this controller. Guys, I'm dead over it. So with literally with under $10, this controller is going to be one of my favorite things, other than the Smart Controller.
So seriously, Mike, is he going to market those?
Yes. His name is, I'll get you more information. Yes, his name is Lloyd Knows Tech on Ecstasy or Ecstasy. How do you pronounce that?
Etsy.
Etsy.
Yeah.
Etsy. You can't miss him. Lloyd Knows Tech. Tell him Mikey sent you. He'll give you a special deal.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a question about that? Now, say, even if you just wanted to fly with your phone, you could still use that as
absolutely. Yes,
okay.
Ron, absolutely. It works with the phone too.
I won't be on the order list then.
God. And they're cheap, guys. This isn't expensive. This is literally like a $5 part. Man, maybe you might be charging $7 or $8 for it.
So I just got on there, Mike, while we're talking.
Okay.
The lanyard mount is $8, and that iPad mini mount is $8. He makes also a dual strap lanyard mount.
Yes. Guys, look how easy it fits in, right? And I am telling you, it is sturdy. Now, I'm not going to shake it hard because it's a $500 tablet in here, but just trust me, it's just as strong as the other idea I had, if not even a little bit better, because it's smaller. With my idea, and you guys know what my idea was. I was showing you this thing here, this thing that I made. Now, my thing was these hangers, guys. It works perfect too. Hangables. You stick two of them together, and it's fucking. Oh, excuse me. It's perfect. But here's the problem you have. You see this big thing? It's in your way. And I kept having to move it. And I'm like, oh, I got to cut it. Why don't I have to do anything? But to make this perfect, guys, you just cut a piece of that off. And you got to make this skinnier. And then it would fit just like this one. But that's work. Why work when you could pay $8? And it's perfect.
And help somebody out in these tough times.
That's right.
The Lloyd knows tech. Amazing. I would buy tons of them. You guys are going to be thrilled about it.
I'm ordering right now, Mike. While we're talking, I'm ordering.
Tell him Mikey sent you. Please, guys, he'll give you a discount. He'll give you. We don't know about the discount yet. I'm going to let him know about that. But
by tomorrow night.
He doesn't know it's easy. He's giving it cheaper. But let me talk to him.
Speaking of tomorrow night, I think there's a show on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night coming live from Florida. Can you elaborate on that show a little, Bill?
I would be absolutely happy to. We have the other best drone reviewer from Philly, Mr. Billy Kyle himself tomorrow night.
No, Billy, I'm number one. That you don't want that kid. He's a kid. He's a young kid. He keeps standing me up, Billy. He keeps telling people I'm standing up.
Billy know all this tomorrow night.
That's my city, Billy. Come on, put him up, Bill.
We're gonna have a great time, and I know he gave Ken. I know you're watching. He gave Ken a hard time about his little mishap over the weekend. So I'm sure he'll probably.
He crashed another drone.
Well, that's going to be always a good time. It's always a good time having Billy on, and that hour's going to go by pretty quickly. And just if you haven't had a chance to catch the replay I had Sally French on tonight, and Sally's fantastic. And we covered a lot of topics, and get her take on remote ID and what's going on with that. We talked about that tonight, and also too. The FAA is still having their symposium, and listen to this. This really kind of blew me away. All right. Now, it's not in person. It's going to be online. They're charging $375 for this online symposium, okay? And all their comments, Sally said they got lit up with these comments. It's like, okay, you don't have a venue. You don't have to worry about catering, and you're charging $375. I know you have speaker fees and equipment fees, but seriously, that's a lot of outlay.
Hey, Bill, that's rape.
Especially these tough times.
Yeah, I
would charge like $380.
Oh, I don't know.
$395 is way too much. Like about $380, right, Ron?
Yeah.
The
other thing is, and I don't know if you guys saw this today or not. She had this posted. Unfortunately, this violence has hit the drone industry.
Oh no!
I think it was AirMap. Their offices were destroyed.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Destroyed. It's on Sally's page.
Wait, that could be a good thing. Can it, Phil? Wait, hold on. Is that a good? I mean, it's never a good thing. I don't want to kid around that. But hold on. That means they can't track us, right?
Well, the good thing about that is, everybody had been working from home because of the coronavirus lockdown. So fortunately, nobody was there when it happened. But it was pretty. But we talked a great. She doesn't have her Mavic Air. Her favorite drone, her favorite DJI drone was the original Mavic Air. Okay, she's got a Mavic Air 2 coming. She can hardly wait to get it. And I passed along some pointers to her from some things that we found after having it for a couple of weeks, and she's real excited about that. One of the other things that we talked about was Autel raised their ceiling on the Evo 2 to like 16,000 feet or something. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. We spent some time talking about that. So if you guys got a chance to watch that, it was a great show tonight. She was very engaged. It was always a pleasure. It's the third time I had her on. In fact, and Ron put in the notes tonight, when he sent me a message, she was the very first guest I ever had on Rotor Talk Live. And
I remember watching it.
and I had bronchitis at the time.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was a
You were a mess, huh, Bill?
I was a mess. But you know what? Sally was a real trooper, and she was fantastic.
Good job.
I think they have her on like once a year, and it's really great to get her take on things. And if you guys ever get a chance to, you know, either follow her on Twitter, or follow her on, you know, she has a blog. She puts out fantastic articles. And guys, this isn't her full-time. She has a full-time job, you know, and she manages to put these articles out, you know, ad nauseum, and she does fantastic work. So definitely check her out. But we're looking forward to seeing Billy tomorrow night.
Marcus has something.
Yeah. Hey, so I just wanted to mention, I put the link to that Etsy page that the fellow that Mike was talking about that's selling that stuff.
Good job.
I ordered one, Mike, and I said, thank you to Philly Drone Life.
Thank you so much. Because he was so kind, guys. No, all kidding aside, he was kind enough to send me one for free. So the least I could do to him is give him a shout out. And listen, if it was crap, he would never send me anything again, because I would let everybody know it's crap. This is not crap. It's freaking wonderful. So you're going to get your money's worth. Trust me, you'll be happy. And this works too. I'm not going to, hey, this works too, but that's more professional. It looks nicer. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to hold your phone or tablet a little bit better.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, listen, I'm going to get to Mike in a second, but I want everybody in the chat to congratulate Bill on 3 years of being on YouTube. It was just the other day he did a special show for his third year on YouTube, and he even showed a little bit of his very first video, which was, you know, kind of daring to do, because a lot of people's first video wasn't their best work. So everybody in there, congratulate Bill. And I want to move on. We have another show tomorrow night coming on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from downtown Philadelphia. Tell us a little bit about tomorrow night's show, Mike. Who are our big guests, and what are our topics, and all that stuff?
Well, tomorrow night's show, guys, don't miss it. It's the Philly and Ron show, where we're going to have no one for a guest, and our topics will be nothing. But you somehow, some way, you're still going to get something from it. And that's the great thing. But we do ask you give it back. So, but that's it. If you give it back, trust me, shut up. It's not stupid. But anyway, listen, somehow you'll still feel like you're a winner. I don't know how, but you will. And
when you leave that show, you'll be feeling like you can walk on air.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Hey, listen, everybody does things for reasons. Me and Ron do a show for absolutely no reason at all, for you to just put your feet up. Let's have some laughs. Let's just cover nothing, talk about nothing, and have nothing. But something, I say nothing. You know, guys, you know.
And we answer a lot of questions in chat. We do. We cover a lot of ground. People
We're going to have to drop the quality.
And we put their fears at rest.
We're going to have to start dropping the quality a little. I kind of feel like people are getting a little bit too much from the show, Ron. So we're going to have to just drop that a little bit. So
okay, but production wise, over the top.
We can talk about that later.
Well,
okay,
I got your answer for that, Mike.
What's
I can do that?
What's that?
Have you as a guest? That'll.
Here we go. Yeah. Well,
you want to drop the quality?
Well, we can. Maybe we'll get a surprise guest tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me go over my promotions. Okay, then Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you got to join Bill Thomas, John Coopy, Ethan Mitchell, and a special guest. I think I got the name right, Danny Tomas. On this week,
it's the big stars that Bill
this week or whatever for the show. So don't miss 8:30 Eastern PM Standard Time. It'll be a great show. And then Thursday, of course, you got the Ken Heron show. He has great guests like John Coopy on there, among other big names. And I bet you Philly Drone will be on there someday soon.
So Bill don't like me on his show because every time I'm on Bill's show, he loses money.
Things change.
Okay, I hope so. I always get him demonetized. I'm sorry, Bill. I don't mean to curse. I don't mean to. But they don't allow you to curse. You're allowed to cuss.
Well,
anyway.
We'll have to get you a bleeper. And then Sunday nights, don't forget Mel's show at the. I'm not sure what Mel's show comes on. Like maybe 6, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I think it's 7, Ron.
7 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
Lloyd is co-host most weeks, and then Lloyd the Grumpy Vlogger Show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday night, and Mel's usually his co-host. And have I missed any shows? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot the most important show at all. Sunday Eastern 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Drone Seekers International, the first international drone show ever in the history of YouTube, starring Marcus Crawford and some of Europeans' finest drone flyers.
Star.
Jackie, what's Jackie's channel?
Jack Graphics, Jackie 360.
Yeah. Jackie's great, and they also got a Burger King Bill in there, and
Steve Gardner, Terry Hawes.
Listen, when I get a trip out to Bill's house and I get to fly to the long side of the lake, that's when I'll know I have reached my pinnacle. That's when I know, not the short side, the long side of the lake. That's when I know Bill's feeling daring. Guys, we're going to the long side of the lake today.
Hey, Mike, I got a better idea for you. Let's meet down there. Let's go on the other side of the lake.
Yes.
Let's fly our drones and let's land on Bill's hot tub.
There you go.
Bill can put the landing pad down for us.
You do that, and I'll buy. And you know what? You will get a Build a Drone Reviewer mug.
No, that'd be worth it. Marcus, that'll be and then we're off to Marcus Crawford, where we're gonna fly the Grand Canyon, guys. The Grand Evel Knievel style. Come on.
Like you want to do when you get all that range out there, huh?
Oh my God,
Marcus. You'll be flying it. You'll never stop flying.
Marcus, did you fly that air yet there? I got it. Which one? How far did it go? 18 miles?
Well, I mean, it's wide open.
It flew to Oregon.
You could literally fly to Oregon. You could.
I mean, he has 5 bars. He would ever train. He was flying the Zeno. It won 16 miles. He never lost a bar with the Zeno. I mean, come on. I get 150 feet with the Zeno here. Maybe. On a good day, 150 feet. On a bad day, about 10 feet.
10 feet.
Hey, Mike, remember the Zeno beats the Mavic 2 in Philly.
Well, Bill mentioned something, and it's so funny. He said that the girl that he interviewed, her favorite drone was the Mavic Air. I can always tell where a person lives by when they tell me their favorite drone. So I already know she lives out in the middle of nowhere somewhere, or some beautiful pasture somewhere, because her favorite drone is a Wi-Fi drone.
Guess where she lives?
Am I wrong?
Guess where? It's San Francisco, in an apartment downtown San Francisco.
But there are now. But where does she fly at? Because there are
downtown San Francisco.
No, I'm an idiot. Then they're bunkers.
She flies the other block and back.
Well, the other thing then is she's a woman. She probably stays within 100 feet of herself. And then which you're supposed to anyway, line of sight. But, I love that drone. I really did, guys. The only problem is in Philly. No, I mean, I don't want to fly 84 miles, but I can't no lie, I can't get more than 500 feet without having problems with that drone. The Mavic Mini, I can go further. Whatever they did with the Mini, I can fly that drone around here and enjoy myself. 1,200 feet, get what I got to get, come back, and absolutely enjoy myself. But for whatever reason, with the Air, right at like 500 feet, it starts doing the robot, and you don't even know where it's delayed. You're turning, the picture comes back, you're 360 totally around. It's not fun at all.
Well, that's why they put Hockey Sync 2 in the second edition, right?
Oh my God, guys. What an amazing thing that they, I can't say it enough. I can't stop flying this drone. And this, I think, is the perfect setup. The perfect setup. iPad Mini 5 with this little cassette, this is my dream setup. Now, you do have to put the thing on here. And again, if DJI would just get with it, if they could put the stuff on the smart controller, I just need 2 things. I need you guys to do, if they're listening, because they watch your show, they don't watch my show. But guys, you need to do you need to do live streaming, get it on the Fly app, and get it on the freaking smart controller, and get it right. That's all I ask for.
So your perfect world would be for them to push out the update to work with the smart controller and to add the live streaming feature and
to the Fly app and to the smart control.
And then your world would be at peace.
I don't need another drone, guys. I'm being honest with you. I mean, what could they do with the Mavic Air 3? Everybody talk. I mean, I know it'll come out in Christmas. The only thing that they're going to do is and they'll get me 1-inch sensor.
They'll hook you in the dynamic range on it.
And here's the big one, guys. You heard it here out of my mouth. This is what's going to sell it. Are you ready for this? HockUSync 3.0. And they'll put like rays shining down. Now, we all know how good 2.0 is, right? So as soon as they put that 3.0, I'm going to be hitting the buy button before I even see how much. Right?
You'll beat Marcus to the buy button.
Yes, I'll beat Marcus to it. Do you agree, Marcus?
I do agree. You'll beat me. I do want to answer Ron's question from about half an hour ago. Ron, that would be the Skydio 2.
I asked the panel, what's their second, if they own the Mavic 2 Pro, what's their second favorite camera?
Phantom 4 Pro V2.0.
Oh, good answer.
See, now my favorite is the Mavic Pro 2. That's my number one. You want my second favorite?
What's number 2?
Mavic 2 Zoom. They're my two. Now, it's so close, though, because this Mavic Air, it's right in mixed with them. But the reason my favorites are the Mavic 2 is because I could go live from them. Everything I need is in the drone. So, again, they changed that couple things, and now the Mavic Air gets thrown right in there because of the connection. The connection's perfect.
I love the camera off the Mavic 2. It may be my number 2 to the Mavic 2 Pro, and for still Zen video.
Bill, what makes you say the V2? The V2. Why is that? Well, hold on. What's your number one?
No, Mavic 2 Pro.
The Mavic 2 Pro is number one, and then the number 2 is your V2. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have one too. I don't have the V2, but for some reason I never fly it. And I think I never was one that cared about the size of the thing. So that's not why I'm not flying it. But I think lately it is because I think it's just the setup. Like, especially with these other drones, they're just so easy. Unfold them, and I'm up in the air. And for some reason with the big controller, anyway, okay. I thought that was your number one, and I was going to ask, why is it that and not the Mavics?
Yeah, and of course the Phantom, the V 2.0 has the same camera as your Pro one does.
Correct, but it does. He has HockUSync, which
he has better range. Well, okay, we've gone almost an hour and a half here. So if anybody in the panel has any final comments, we'll roll around and we'll get people out of here and get people to bed. And so they can start their day smart. Because luckily, in a lot of states are opening back up again. People are starting to get back out to work again and get back to the normal life somewhat. Now, I know the recent news has already put curfews back in and things. So, but anyhow, we'll get people out and get in the bed anyway. So we'll go around, I guess, in clockwise. Marcus, what's your final thoughts and comments? We're all waiting for Marcus's Truggy video coming up, but anything else going to be on the channel along with the Truggy?
Yeah, the Truggy video, and then of course the Mavic Mini and the Freewell filter for that. And thank you, Ron, for your help educating me on that. I do appreciate it. And then also, I did get my permit from the Army Corps of Engineers, and I can fly out at Lucky Peak Reservoir. So I'm going to get out to Lucky Peak Reservoir and do some flying. You do, so you know it's open there, and FAA is okay with it, but because it's Army Corps of Engineers territory, they built it. You got to get a permit from them, and so we did that, and it's a fun place to fly. So I got to get the you talk about long range flight, Mikey. I got to get the Mavic Air 2 out to that one, and you can go.
I respect that, Ron. You do things right, Marcus. Good job.
Yeah.
And also, Marcus has a little package coming my way, but we won't. We'll just tease you, and we'll give you more details until maybe next week's show or whatever. But it will be good, and it will be a combination video. Big things are in the works here, but again, I don't want to. They say say no more, say no more. So yeah. So you just pass it around, Marcus, when you're done.
Okay, Bill, what's up, brother?
Well, hey, I was on Preston Jensen. He's a YouTuber. He also has a drone business as well. And I was on a podcast of his, and it's going to be published on June the 9th, and I'll be sure to drop links on that. Preston is a fantastic guy. He lives, I think it's not too far away from where Russ lives in North Dakota, and those guys are going to get together sometime. And I'm looking forward to listening to that podcast. I think it went real well. Preston is a great guy. In fact, he sent me in the mail one of his prints. And it's like have you seen Jeff Voigt does these pictures where it looks like a miniature town kind of a thing? Mm-hmm. Well, he did this He did this with one of the, there's a university in the town that he lives in, and it's fantastic. Okay. He does a great job, and it was a great time talking to him. He's a great guy. Definitely want to check out his channel. So that's coming up. I got a couple of good videos on the Mavic Air 2 coming up. I'm looking forward to doing that. And my news about the Fimi X8 SE. So I'm kind of getting geared up and pumped up about that. That's going to be fantastic. And I got Billy coming this week, and I'm going to have probably one of the best VIPs I've ever had the week after that. I'm going to confirm with him tomorrow. And this is a guy that everybody knows. And it's not Frank Wang, but it's pretty doggone close. So, ooh. Yeah. So it's the guy that he's very, and I had to actually send exactly what we're going to talk about kind of a thing. And we can't deviate from this. So if that kind of tells you anything, this is going to be a very special guest.
First initial R, last initial D.
No.
Okay. But I think I know who you're talking. That narrows it down for me.
Yeah, it's not Romeo. I definitely want to get Romeo back on because definitely talk to him because he's just a fantastic guest. But no, this person is very important. He's very influential, and we're going to have a great discussion, and we're going to be spending the whole night talking on one subject, and I think everybody's going to want to tune into that. And then the week after that, I'm going to have another person that's never been on the show before, but he's long overdue for getting on there, and you guys will like him. He's another household name, instantly recognizable, and I'm very excited about that. And then I've been working like crazy, and I can't get a hold of Rick Smith. I've been emailing him, and I have his phone number and been texting him. So I think he's under wraps. I think DJI has him under wraps for probably their next project.
He's already flying the Mavic 3. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He probably already is because I haven't been able to get a hold of him because I've been trying to get him on as well, too. So we got some great guests coming up tomorrow night with Billy. It's going to be a fun show. So, guys, definitely tune in at 8 o'clock tomorrow night because I could talk to Billy for about 3 hours if and wouldn't lose questions with him. So it's going to be a great show. And we promise not to make too much fun of Ken tomorrow night.
Okay.
Well, guys, here I am, man. Thank you so much. I mean, what I have to say is I'm just honored to be a part of this whole thing, and I really am. Thank you all so much just for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have so many people liking me and just to see people smile. I can't tell you what it does to me. I am a serious guy underneath all my craziness, and it's just what I do, but I'm just honored, guys. I'm so honored that Ron, you asked me to be on tonight, and then I'm in amongst your names. I do have a lot of respect for all your channels, and so I really appreciate you having me here, and just to give a little piece of who I am, and again, guys, perfect setup. Give your love out to Lloyd Nose Tech at Etsy. It's a fantastic thing. He deserves your love, and you'll be really happy. With that, I'm going to send it back to Ron.
Thank you for the excellent recommendation on the tablet holder and just the lanyard piece, and for your great report on how the Smart Controller performed with you with the Mavic 2 Pro in the city under the you fly under extreme Wi-Fi conditions. That was a great report. And I just wanted to share a little good news on the way out the door here. I just read today that Scudio is now back to manufacturing the Scudio 2 again. So people that have their pre-orders, I don't know if they're at, what do you call it, level 3 yet, or I don't even know the term they use, but the people that have been waiting, that ordered a long time ago, hopefully their drones will be out to them in some kind of a reasonable fashion right now. So I want to thank everybody who was in the chat tonight. I'm sorry I didn't get to read everybody's name or highlight everybody's name on screen, but I mean, there's a lot of regulars in here, just a lot of good people that joined us. I see Darren K was in here. He's a regular on the Philly Drone Show, whatever. And Sam Burns had a lot of great comments. And I don't want to leave everybody out. A lot of people had great comments that don't seem to be in here now. But I just want to thank everybody. I want everybody to stay safe wherever they are out today. Not only we're dealing with a virus now, but we're dealing with, I'm all for peaceful protests, but the riots are another thing. And a lot of us are dealing with that stuff. So just be safe, and we'll see you on other shows the rest of the week, and we'll be back here next Monday night. Good night, everyone.